So, started this morning off with some really good coffee. Ho 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 ho. Feels good to see these guys this morning. Yeah. Oh, this is smelling so good. Man, it is grey today and raining like in my face. Rain. Rain. And I've got a coaching call in like 5 minutes. I'm gonna prepare for that quickly. I look fancy, right? Headphones, microphone, light. Ooh, yeah. Got a bit of atmosphere over here. Cool. So, student is coming to me for a little bit of help with some coaching. And yeah, I do like to help. It's probably one of the greatest joys of my life. So yeah, I get to be somebody's coach today. Which is always really exciting. Love hearing people's problems, love providing some kind of solution to people, to creatives especially, because I know what it feels like to be stuck. I've been stuck multiple times, and I've been unstuck multiple times. Okay, so call is done. What to do for the rest of the day? Well, number one is I'm going to do a little bit of audio recording for my Unleash Your Creativity audiobook that my wife has been putting together because she is super good at this kind of stuff. She's got 2 children's audio production series under her belt. You should check it out on Yoto, which is a children's little audiobook player. It's really cool. And so I've got that. What I want to do is just consolidate all the things that I've been creating and start putting them onto YouTube as shorts and also YouTube as longs, and then formulate some kind of social media strategy with all of my Doodleverse pieces. I think they can just, form quite a bit of, engagement, continuity. Just like I've got all of this really cool stuff, and I want to remind people like, hey, this is what I create. These are the people that have collected my art. And then I also want to continue working on my class, which I think today I could actually finish all the recording for, which is massive. Then I just go into mass editing mode. And then today, tomorrow, and then it's vacation, school holidays, Christmas holidays. And I guess I got to do quite a bit of work, but I'm also really looking forward to taking some time off, just chilling, spending time with my family, getting gezellig, which basically means like cozy, Christmas vibes, that kind of stuff. Yeah. Okay, let's do it. And yeah, it's better to do audio standing so that you can breathe a little bit more. It's a good thing I got a standing desk. Okay, so I'm going to re-record chapter 2 because apparently there was a bit of kind of noises in there, which is not great. So here we go. Okay, so that probably wasn't like the best angle. Got to see more of my butt than anything else. Oh well, I've recorded 2 versions or 2 takes. Now, I'm going to get onto some social media kind of strategy stuff and organization. I also wanted to talk a little bit about this idea that I had last night. I always have ideas, sure, but this was more like a critique of my thinking. So a lot of the time I make assumptions. We make assumptions. I particularly make assumptions like this particular idea of mine is going to be brilliant. It's going to be amazing. But oftentimes I don't actually take any action on it. I just assume it's going to be really good. Sometimes I do take action on it, and then it doesn't end up being such a big success, and I'm quite disappointed. So the idea is to test my assumptions, to be like, okay, I have this idea. How do I test this? How do I put in enough effort to see if it will work or will not work? I can't put in too little effort, otherwise I just don't know. And then it's just a waste of time. So in university, people were like, yeah, assumptions are the, what are they saying? That assumptions are the mother of all fuck-ups. And now I'm starting to realize why. You gotta test it. You can't just assume, especially you can't just assume that something will work. You can't like bet the house on an assumption. You gotta test something before you do something like that. I've worked on this content strategy Notion type thing. I'll explain it to you in just a moment, but right now I'm gonna take some pictures of my phone cover to post on Instagram, etc. I'm gonna try and test this new like content strategy design thing out. I think I'm onto something. Yeah, it's raining, it's pouring. Maybe you can't see it so well. Right, so these are looking pretty cool. I think my camera did a good job. Okay, so I think this is how my content marketing is gonna go. So basically I start off with a product or a piece of art. There's gonna be photos and images that all relate to the product. So if I list it, that's where it's gonna go. If there's an art piece, there's gonna be an image. It could even be that this is a physical piece of art. And so there'll be photos taken of that piece of art. Then there is content. Content does not need to have a product or piece of art. I could just write a piece of content, but it could. So it could come from art, it could come from a product. So content is inspired by the product or the art. And so then I'll take some more photos or videos, and if I need to, I can then link back to this and this one back to a piece of content. So if it's one piece of art, it will have a content folder, and a content folder might have a piece of art or a product, and I can go between them. So I don't have to unnecessarily store two versions of the same files, but then content can also live alone. Now content, there's going to be a bunch of stuff inside of content, like IG, TikTok, YouTube, X, Arena, Remix, blah, blah, blah. All of the ideas will be inside of one Notion page for this. So all of the images, all of the text, all the different types of text, it just means it's really easy to reference the different pieces of content, to remix it, make it shorter, make it longer, maybe create a new form of that piece of content. So that all goes inside of one idea, or like one campaign inside of Notion and inside of Finder. So here we've got Notion and Finder. So that's like the idea hub where everything is stored, and then there's the actual posts or marketing posts. And here things are scheduled. So I can see that I'm not like posting way too much. I can also then link back to this page, and this page can link back to multiple types of posts. So they're scheduled, they're dated, they have a type, and they can have images, etc, description, but all of these things should also be inside that master idea post. Okay, so I think I've got this like content organization thing down. Inside of Notion, there is a database, and each content item is like an idea, a topic, something that I can create multiple pieces of content from. So let's look at the Are You Ugly iPhone case. So I'm going to open that, and here, sure, it's on draft status at the moment, or perhaps I can change that to in progress. It's got a bunch of related posts. Now a post is something a little bit different. It's a specific scheduled kind of post. There's a date to it, there's a type, it's somewhere. Okay, so if we go look at that, Are You Ugly iPhone case post on Instagram, here it's got a tag of Instagram, it's posted, there's a URL, and it relates back to this content, which is great. It means I can kind of keep track of which posts relate to which like global overarching piece of content. Okay, now if we go back here, you can see that there's a whole bunch of things in here, like to-dos, like TikTok posts, like Instagram X posts. And this is helpful because it means I can copy and paste, I can remix, I can go short, I can go long, I can work on new ideas. Hey, I can even like add databases here. I've got to-dos all for this one piece of content. And one piece of content is just like the global big idea. Each post can then be something different. Maybe a video, maybe it's a carousel, maybe it's a tweet, maybe it's, you know, a long form essay. And then all the posts are then laid out over here. And I can also tap on this create post button and it actually creates a new post and links it to this piece of content. So that's like the Notion side of it, which is great. Now, let's go to Finder. And so inside my art folder, I've got merch. I also have all kinds of different folders, which I'll probably be organizing. But for now, let's go for merch. So let's go for the Are You Ugly, the iPhone case. I'll then have some photos of it. I'll have the PSD. I'll have the PNG, which I uploaded. So this is like product specific. I'm not going to share this with other people. I've got a photos PSD, which I'll probably use if I had to sell this, and I'll put some photos up. So this all has to do with a particular product. If it's an art piece, I'll have probably just the art piece there, maybe a PNG or a JPEG and the Photoshop file. I could maybe have a time lapse if I'm going to package that with the piece of art. But then I go to content marketing. This is a shortcut or an alias. So let's go up here to the content folder. There is an Are You Ugly iPhone case piece of content now. And inside here, well, we don't have the product PSD or the product PNG. We've got photos for Instagram here. We've got the IG post PSD. Great. And I can just keep on adding to this. I can keep on creating new folders for particular posts. And then it links back to the merch item. So here, I don't need to like have photos raw in both places. They can just be inside of this merch folder. What I've battled with in the past is, you know, trying to figure out where I should put things in folders, where I should put things in Notion. Sometimes I just start tweeting about stuff and then I forget about, you know, particular things, or I post so much in one day and then nothing for you know, a week or two. So I'm trying to stay organized and be smart about how I think about content. I like the idea of having one big topic and then creating multiple pieces of content or posts based on that one big topic. All right, so I've just done a little bit of admin, getting invoices and things like that. Now it's time to eat. Spaghetti bolognese. Wow, more pouring. Man. Hopefully it clears up when I need to go home. Okay, it's now time to record some screen sharing stuff, maybe a little bit more talking head. Could potentially finish this class recording today, which I'm pretty pumped about. Okay, I've just finished all of the talking head stuff for the class. Now I need to do a little bit of screen sharing. Oh my crazy goodness. I've just finished recording everything, and now I feel like I'm gonna spend an eternity editing stuff. What's really interesting is that the first time and even the second time that I created this class, I re-recorded stuff so many times. Like the smallest mistake, I'd be like, okay, stop, undo, and then re-record. And I don't think it actually needs to be like that. I've taken a lot of courses where there's a jump in a cursor or somebody makes a mistake, and I don't find it irritating. I'm like, that's totally cool. So I'm leaving a lot of that stuff in, and hopefully it makes it more authentic. But if it doesn't, there's always a chance to make it better in the future, which is a really nice mindset to have. So yeah, I can't believe I'm actually finished recording everything. My voice does feel a little bit raw, or my throat does feel a little bit raw, but I'm really happy that I've recorded everything, and now it's just down to editing and doing the visuals, which take a long time, especially for such a long class. I think there are like 30 lessons, which compared to my last class had 7. So yeah, not the last HTML and website class, but it was one on Photoshop gradients or gradient mapping. Everything is synchronizing, and I've just scheduled my computer to shut down. It's quite a nice little command. In terminal, you say sudo shutdown -h plus the amount of minutes. and then you type your password. And at that time, it shuts down. And now it's time to do some plant watering. Do the dirt. Have some water, little guy. And then some tea. And then some doodling. Alrighty. Nope, that's the wrong one. There we go. Okay, what am I going to draw today? It's a really good question, isn't it? What about some kind of a windmill? It's also a car, also like some kind of a ship. Yeah, that could be pretty cool. Okay. Bit of leaves blowing in the wind, you know? The moon. About coloring in the wheels a little bit. Yeah, it's probably not my like most creative, but yeah, pretty interesting in terms of like a windmill on wheels that can sail. Maybe a couple of mountains in the background. Give them a bit of context. Some stones here and there. And maybe the wheels can have some little spoke type things on. All right. Looks pretty cool. Okay. The day at the studio is done. Going to a Christmas party, my kid's school. Luckily, I'm cycling home and yeah, there's not too many clouds, which means there's not too many rains. Yeah. Good day at the studio today. Did some big things.